For those just starting out, to those who built their reputation. In the detail industry, navigating the course is a daily grind. This is Play-by-Play, with industry professionals tackling topics and offering tips to help improve your game plan. Now, here's your Play-by-Play.
All right, what's up, everybody? We're back
on?
with another episode of Play-by-Play.
That's right. Back once again. Sorry.
You can keep going.
I got that. I don't know what it is with the lyrical mouse down.
This is the last one of the year, the last show of the year, and man, what a year it has been.
The last live show of the year.
Yes,
right?
yes. We are going to have a little video for you guys next week. So you don't forget about us. We don't want to fall off the face of the earth.
For sure, man.
And
No, we're
out
here.
celebrating Christmas and New Year's and gallivanting around.
Yeah.
We'll still be here in spirit.
That's right.
We'll be on video.
You guys can get your fix.
And that's all we have for this week's episode. We're going to pop this bottle and hang out the rest of the day. No. But before we do that, we're going to take a look back.
That's
we got to take a trip down memory lane.
Yep.
I'm going to let my toes hang out the end of these flip-flops. What's that guy's name?
Theo Vaughn. Man.
Theo Vaughn. Like, I have this new fascination with Theo Vaughn. I'm watching his reels.
If y'all haven't seen him, it's
like,
hilarious.
I never feel any more unproductive, though, when I'm watching him.
Right.
Like, I'm just like, why am I trapped in this?
Oh, it's absolute
algorithm
nonsense,
of
but
nonsense.
it's hilarious, dude. You need a breath of fresh air, good.
It's good.
Chuckle.
It reminds me of having a conversation with you.
Yeah, thanks. I'm glad. That's a compliment.
Now let's take a look. Let's take a look back. Things that went great this year, Ryan. Anything that rolls off the tongue here that you think that were just great moments in detail bookie history?
I can't really put my finger on a particular. Well, yes, I can.
Okay.
I'll tell you. Take it back. My pinnacle moment of this year was sitting on stage with Rennie Doyle.
Oh yes,
at SEMA. That by far was the coolest moment of 2022 for me.
Yeah.
But just outside of that awesome experience, we got to go to SEMA, which was really cool.
SEMA was big.
But we had we've had a really good year, man. We've had a lot of growth.
Yeah, we have.
And with growth comes those fun growing pains, which is always great because now we get to solve problems even more so, which we excel at that, I feel.
Well, I think we've both grown so much in our positions, and personally and in business, and we've come so far. I tried to think about one of the best moments for detail bookie. Winning, this is a given. Winning the at SDC, winning the
best
booth. Yeah, we work our butts off for the booth, and we kind of got shamed by one of our customers about it because we go so big, and they're like, why y'all spending all this time and effort on this booth? Y'all should spend it on the software, asshole.
It did kind of hurt, but
but we won booth of the year, so it made up for it.
It did, absolutely.
We got $500 credit.
Dude, oh shoot, yeah, man, that'll pay for some carpet,
right?
That
was a great, that was kind of a pat on the back for all the hard work we put into our booth. That's that we do.
We do.
And it requires all the team to pitch in and really come out of their normal job role into a stage production crew.
That's right.
Whatever.
I mean, we were like roadies in that moment.
Yeah, we were.
And what was super cool was even though we had the biggest, baddest booth of them all at that show, we still beat Auto Geek with our pack up and leaving.
Yeah, we did.
Which they always have a tremendous booth, but it takes them so long to get that thing set up. Yeah, we did.
Listen, another thing that the obvious, I think, was bringing Christine on board.
Oh, 100%. I mean, we've added, we're growing, what I mean? And with that means you've got to add to your team.
Yes.
We now have an onboarding specialist that, Christine is phenomenal at doing that job. Like she is very, the way that she's instructional, she makes you feel very good about it, that, because it can be sometimes challenging in certain aspects if it's outside your norm of what you're already skilled at, and definitely has a way of breaking it down and getting you feeling comfortable using it. So
and sometimes people are put in that position and like you're dealing with the questions that you've answered a million times, right? And it can become like annoying in a sense, but Christine does it every single day, and she treats each customer, when they come on and they have these same questions, she guides them through the process. She explains it to them thoroughly, and it's not that you don't get that annoyed feel. Right. And so she's one-on-one with the customers, and it continues our customer support. The focus in which we drive everything is how can we support the detailers better. in our software and then in our,
support.
In our support. That's right. So Christine was definitely a highlight. Negatives, like, I don't know of anything negative specifically. What did we do wrong? What do we? Well, you know what? You want us to? We can admit guilt. We targeted the wrong audience for a month in our ads and stuff, and so we were fielding a bunch of phone calls for a month for customers looking for something totally opposite of what we do at Detail Booking. We couldn't figure out what the hell where these people were coming from.
Let's be honest. We only targeted that wrong audience for, I think, 2 weeks, but the after effects of that targeting we had for months. But we were able to identify it pretty quick. And I think that was we could pat ourselves on the back for that.
And kudos to the marketing team for like being able to make a conscious decision. And actually, I don't know if you remember, but we consciously made the decision to target that. We just didn't realize that was not our customer.
100%.
And so, like, that was a cool moment. I mean, we look back at things that we learned from. That was definitely one of them. And it was, I remember those meetings being stressful. It's like, we have these people asking all these questions that we just don't like, we're way apart.
It made us almost feel like we should start a lead generation company because we were getting so many requests to just buy, sell me leads.
We were targeting very new detailers and like extremely new. And these guys don't need software. They need customers. Training and customers. That's absolutely. Right. That's right. So, it's been a great year. I want to talk about some of the things that we've done along the way, though. One thing that always stands out to me is travel.
Yes.
We travel as a big group, and we do it very economically.
Absolutely.
We are like, for those of you that don't know, we're self-funded by myself, and where are we at here? Is this MTE?
That looks like
this
MTE.
Is MTE. Yeah, so we travel together, right? And then we do our own booth setup. It's not like we hire somebody to come in and do this thing. And so we do this booth setup like this, all chipping in.
Oh, yeah, that's production. There's your sales staff. There's your onboarding team. We're all, now.
Myself, my dad, a friend of mine, Joel, that's not even, he's not even on staff. He comes down and helps out. And then, so y'all noticed that we broke out the LED wall. A little quick story behind that. That wall is actually owned by myself and my dad and Brad that's with us. And so, like, people have, kind of thought, well, it may cost us a fortune to get that down there. And really, this booth is cheaper for us to do than it is to do a paid setup or something like that. So it's an easy one for us to do because we already have the wall. It's already boxed up, ready to go.
And if anybody's ever interested in renting out an LED wall for your parties, you contact us in Jackson.
We have the LED wall, but MTE is fun, and down in Orlando. But traveling up to SDC, that's always fun too, because it's a little bit longer of a ride, I think. And, the traveling quirks that come with it, it makes for fun.
Convention center.
I still think it's a great idea.
I thought it was perfect.
We took lights, we beamed like the bat signal, but it was Detail Bookie, and we just scanned it across the whole building up above everybody's booth. Like y'all are underneath.
I would love to know who the person that
somebody told on us. Somebody told on us. And then of course the infamous SEMA. Traveling out to SEMA.
And I was
first trip, right?
Yeah, first trip out to see him, first trip to Las Vegas, period. And boy was I, it was every bit of what I expected.
It was more than what I expected as a fan.
Yeah, you should say that. Yeah, absolutely. It's way more than what we expected, honestly. I did not leave the booth for literally a second. You could almost see angel wax kind of like couple booths back. At one point in time, I got up and ran over to their booth just to say hey to everybody.
Yeah.
Dude, it was just Chris West. You just saw IGL Don.
He made an appearance there, and always fun to interview.
Which boy, so.
Yeah, and then these are people that were coming to the show to hang out with us, to learn about software. It was such a great event. Of course, IGL got to get a huge shout out to them for. We ended up sharing a booth with those guys. They put us in a table up front, and we did podcasts. We did, just talk to people about software.
Yeah.
And it was such an amazing experience. We had been to SEMA, I had, but I'd never been there with software. And so I had no idea what to expect on that level, and it far exceeded expectations. I tell you, we were blown away with the participation and the amount of people that actually come to SEMA.
Yeah, we really did. I think I don't want to say undervalued, but we didn't think, because it was such a big show and it wasn't detail specific, that there might not be.
Well, you never know, right?
Well, we didn't know, and we do now, so we'll definitely be a staple at SEMA.
So when you travel in a big group, and like we mentioned, we travel very economically. We don't fly everywhere. Well, sometimes we do, but we travel together, especially STC and MT. We pull the trailers and stuff, so we're all in the same vehicles a lot of times. And so you learn things about each other that you would have not learned otherwise. And one story that always is hilarious to me is my dad actually drives a truck, and then my truck follows. I'm not the driver, but it's my truck. Well, with my dad rides Christine and Chris.
And I think Jessica was with them. Is that
Christine, Chris, and Jessica.
Yeah.
Well, Chris likes to put his headphones on and chill, just like a lot of us do when we're traveling. Well, with those headphones on, he didn't necessarily know what his mouth was sounding like as he was chewing gum for like 2 hours.
Let's call it what it was. He was smacking
gum.
Smacking gum.
And so we got to we got home, or got to where we were going that day and that evening, and we all went to the restaurant, and my dad said he was concerned about that gum and making it to heaven because Chris had smacked the hell out of it. And Chris was like, "Oh shit, you could hear that?" He's like, "I was wondering," and he was just back there plowing through that gum, man.
Yeah, for hours.
For hours. My dad was like, "What the hell?"
And I never really, the trips for me are always extremely enjoyable because
How would you know?
Well, that's exactly right. I seem to get in the vehicle, I close my eyes, and then I wake up and we're there.
You got traveling figured out.
Yeah, dude.
But we all know you're there because you always travel with me, and Ryan snores like a chainsaw. I keep
hearing that, but I've never experienced it for myself.
It's brutal. It makes me want to go to sleep, which I do. So it's kind of a win-win.
And in addition to those big trips that we took, I just wanted to kind of mention, Dustin and we did a little traveling solo too a couple times. We flew down to Miami. I've never been to Miami before either, so that was awesome.
And we got to experience a little bit of it one night in our little rental car.
We did.
Cruised around, lost an ID, then missed our flight the next day because we experienced Miami a little too hard.
Yeah, but we hung out with the guys from Angel Wax, man. Those guys are super awesome. We also got to go down not too far of a trip, but Orange Beach for another Angel Wax training, which is really awesome. And then we took the road trip to Houston. So, man, just
fun times.
It was great, man. We've had a wonderful, wonderful time.
Yeah, and you got to drive on that trip a little bit.
I did, yeah, dude. Yeah, I did. You were sleeping, I believe, at one point in time, and I had
a whole panic attack.
Yeah, with those lanes, they're like so close, and there's the block. I guess they've been working on them for years and years and years, but it feels like you're literally gonna touch the wall. So yeah, I was a little anxious.
Well, I tell you, traveling around, getting the word out for the software, that's what it's all about. And we've had a great time doing it. We have. It's brought us all closer. We've learned a lot about each other for sure.
Yeah.
It's fun. I enjoy it, and I'm looking forward to doing more for sure.
Right. I didn't know how big of a deal sharing bathrooms with girls would be, but when you only have a couple bathrooms, you know what I mean? It's like, well, you got to kind of plan around.
And, Chris's hairbrush doesn't work the same on my hair.
I forgot mine too. Yes. We all had waves for some reason. It was great.
I used Chris's hairbrush. But no, we had to share the restroom with the girls. And so, the restrooms had these like pocket doors that didn't lock or shut. So, and they had like gaps. So we're in an Airbnb house, because it's much cheaper than a hotel's for everybody.
Yes.
And so there's gaps like on this side, so the girls like hung sheets up,
right?
So that way we couldn't see in. Unfortunately,
I'm
just kidding. No, the little things are like that are great. Like that's what makes it all worth it. We shared a house with interesting experience. Shared the house with the IGL.
Yes. I learned
Joel and Marcus.
Very interesting fact about Mike Carlin and his aversion to beds.
He doesn't sleep.
Doesn't sleep at all. He's just an insomniac, and so you'd always see him just kind of laying off on the couch or chilling out in the living room.
How I couldn't function? No. Like I could not function like that. Like I have to have 6 hours of sleep. Six.
That's your go-to?
That's my go-to.
Oh, that's nice.
6. If I get more, I kind of have lag, like I'm like too long,
sure,
and less than that, you don't want to talk to me,
right?
It's a 6.5.
That's
the sweet spot. Along with travel, we also had a podcast weekly.
That's right. We do a podcast. That's right. Play by play every Friday.
Every single Friday, except for one that I missed. Did you miss one too?
Yeah,
you missed one.
I did miss one.
Yeah, I missed one.
You did.
Yeah, but I just flat out no showed you.
You called no showed, which was even worse because not only are we worried about Dustin because this is unusual, but also Ryan's got to do this by himself, and that was a first for me. And
right. But you know what? We learned and grew from that. I learned to never miss again.
And I learned to not let Dustin miss again.
And then we learned that Madison was way better at podcasting than you.
We definitely learned how Madison does have podcasting abilities. Yes,
she does. She does it now. She filled in
perfect. Yep.
Yeah, but within that, we had all kind of series. Let's talk about some series that we did.
Let's see. So, we had Billy Boggess on. This is really funny because you guys all know Billy Boggess. He's a huge, huge influencer on social media. He has product company, and he can be divisive at times. Has a tendency maybe to get banned for a couple days here and there,
and always acts shocked each time.
Yeah, he does act shocked.
You should not be shocked by this.
You think he'd figured it out? Yeah. But it was really funny because we had Billy on, and we were, and he had just kind of had a little meltdown or whatever, and we were discussing that and how to move forward, and how we're all going to be positive. And
I really feel like I was invested in this conversation.
I was very invested in that. Like I felt like we were,
doing a thing for him.
Absolutely. And then after that podcast, it couldn't have been 2 days later, he had another big blow and ended up causing a bunch of controversy. And so the very next podcast, we were doing our MVP series, right? So we brought on a bunch of our users, and Billy also joined. He actually showed up late, and so I think Ethan has a video. Oh, look at there.
Wow, the man.
All right, guys. So listen, now that Billy has joined us, we're actually so we kind of made this an MVP party. Really what it is, it's an intervention for Billy Boggess.
Intervention.
So we really thought that after Friday podcast was such a hit, man. Billy, we knew you was going to get off social media. We knew that was it for you. We thought that was like,
he's rolling up the sleeves. We're in trouble.
So, tell us how have you been handling negativity these days, Billy?
I've been struggling because Carlos Gala sent me 2 bottles of whiskey for my birthday, and I saw
it.
Shout out to me in my ass last night. I got this one. I'm like, I got to work.
All right,
guys.
Man, negativity. Don't pay attention to it. If you're focused on your goals, don't worry about what they're saying.
There we go.
Look, and dude, you can tell he was raw and ready right then. Like, it's funny.
We threw him off. That was he wasn't expecting that.
Well, the intervention was hilarious. Like,
I was off the cuff.
All the people are sitting there looking at you. He comes in late, and he's just like, "Oh shit, what am I showing?"
Let's be honest. It was off the cuff. I totally just freestyled that moment.
That was great. It was great. It was one of the ones that hit.
Hey, every once in a while I get a hit.
And you have a method of your joke telling, right?
What is it? Well, if you don't swing, you're never gonna have a home run. So you just swing. A lot of times it's swing and a miss.
A lot of times.
But it's the real jewels that go over the fence, and without those misses, I'd never get those.
Yeah, you never get the wins.
Without
the losses, you can't get the wins.
That's right.
It's great. But no, it was a great series. We had all of our customers on, or some of our customers on, and we bring them on at times, talk about how their business is going, talk about what what's going on in their world, and it's always a fun series.
Yeah, I love hearing about the growth. That's something that I'm always excited to hear. Whenever and to have it shared, it's really cool, man. But we did have some actual. So we had our MVP series, but then we did industry influencers.
Yes, and this was a good one because we were bringing on people that are relevant in our industry, that are making an impact, that people are that are moving the needle, right? That people are following along. And of course, Joe LaPalm is the first one that comes to mind, and I think we have video on him.
Right now is your key opportunity as a detailer to make money. You should be using your money to advertise, promote locally your business.
Not sit on the shelf.
Not when you can't pay your electrical bill. I don't want you to go into your product closet and see my stuff with dust on it, because you're going to be swearing at me.
Where was I at right
It looked like an airport, to be honest with you, didn't it?
Could have been. Yeah. So, but Joe LaPalm, I mean, obviously one of the big influencers in our industry for sure.
One of our biggest supporters. I think
top three.
Yeah. We owe Joel a ton of appreciation, and he, I don't think he ever will realize exactly how much we appreciate him.
Absolutely.
But yeah, amazing. And he's not one for drama either. He likes to stick to business, and so we love having Joe along.
That's right. He's a good friend too. Absolutely. Good friend. But with them, we had Jennifer Turcott in our industry influencer series. So
Jennifer's always a fun hang. She's really cool, man. She's just,
how would you know?
Well, because I hung.
Yeah.
Me and Jennifer went out and had drinks one night. It was super awesome.
Was that a date? Would you consider it a date?
Of course not. It was just me being, showing her this.
Is it studious? No, it's not studious. What is it? You're recording her around.
I wasn't courting. I was just showing her around. I don't know what that word is. There's a word for it though.
Cordial. Thank you, Ethan. He's always looking out.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
She's awesome. Like, her following her word in the industry is big, and we love her to death.
Look who else was on the podcast.
Demi made an appearance. Now that's an influencer,
right?
and she'll let you know real quick. She don't care whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
One of the biggest ones in the industry for sure, Rennie Doyle. Idol?
I don't want to say that because I don't want to freak him out. You know what I mean?
And he's watching.
Let's hope so.
What's the biggest difference between running a big company and a little company? And he goes, the size of your problems.
Yeah,
all they do,
absolutely.
And that as a big staff right now is that if your staff's going through a divorce, you're going through a divorce. If they got the flu, you've got the flu. If they got a hangnail, you got a hangnail. If they're doing powerful things, you're doing powerful things. If they say something stupid to a customer, it's on you. And
Absolutely.
So you've got to be very careful of your staff and who you hire and how you treat them and how you pay them. And controlling your whole, one of the things at P&S that I'm really proud of within the Double Black line is that, the culture. I'm real protective over the culture. And there's things that's going to happen. There's people that are going to say things. There's people that have opinions. And I just can't. I got to be Teflon. And I got to be able to take and show the rest of the world. That's not me. Might be a representative, but it's not me.
Yeah, and there are a lot of good stuff there.
Y'all just wait for 2023. I think the bookies and the mafia got stuff planned that you guys are gonna look forward to seeing.
It's a match made in heaven. I feel like we go together. I feel like there's relations.
They're definitely one of us.
They're one of us,
right?
Yes, they're family, familia.
Right.
Yeah,
familia.
Another one. Miss Megan Poirier.
That was actually the one right? Where I got ghosted by Dustin. And
look who's not there. I even brought my tea in just in remembrance of.
I think you could probably tell in my face I was just a little extra anxious.
Yes.
Being very attentive, because
what are you doing?
I don't know, dude. I was so nervous, man. I was so nervous.
That's great.
I had only previously met Megan once, so I really didn't, have a real relationship, with her to that point. And, super sweet and very nice and very informative in education. Yeah. So it was great. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to lie. I was nervous that whole time.
And people don't realize that it's easy to sit here and talk. But as soon as the camera comes on, or as soon as you have an agenda or something that you got to talk about in length, it becomes nerve-wracking at times. And so You know, when you're used to having two people here and to fill the gap, and you're the only one that's filling that gap, it's nerve wracking.
Well, yeah, because I mean, the way our dynamic works, you know, I'm personality, you're like knowledge, and so the two together, yeah.
I just thought I was here to make you not look like an idiot.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah, your knowledge base is top notch, and yes, and without that, I felt like I was a little inadequate in that moment because I didn't, you know. But
did you crack any jokes?
I don't think I did. I think I was too nervous to even crack a joke. To be honest with you.
Oh man, that's hilarious. You know, we have a great banter, dynamic between us two, and you know, we always kind of look out for each other, and you know, like if the other one's kind of running into a dead end of conversation, the other one's usually there to pick up and pick up the baton and keep running.
That's right. Like our brothers over at Road FS, Rod and Jody, you know what I mean? That is the same, you know, they got that dynamic. They bounce off of each other and they seem like they're pretty opposite in certain areas, you know what I mean? But great conversations always.
Yeah, and it works. You know, it works. It keeps us very wide ranged, and you know, like the things that you value and are very important. That they align, but the way that you go about things is different than the way I go about things, and it makes it a perfect mix. So
absolutely.
Can't forget though, Greg Masterson, talking about him on industry influencers. He's definitely one. And here he is. This is the most recent one we did?
This is what we did just last week. And, you know, one thing that Greg added that I actually researched after was, you know, his AI, you know, like what he wants to do with that, you know. And the more I looked into it, I'm like, holy crap, this is something.
There's a lot to it.
Yeah. I was about to say, I can imagine you were immediately onto that as well.
Absolutely.
And you could see yourself with 5 AI bots taking over the world as well. I think.
Yeah, for sure. Sure, I've already implemented some things, and we're testing the waters on some stuff too. So I think there's a time and place for it all. I mean, you know, I think that you use tools to make you better. I don't think it's to replace. I mean,
right.
When the polisher was invented, we didn't cut our arms off.
Sure.
You know what I mean? You still had to run the polisher.
Right.
Well, the machine, you're still going to have to run the machine. Somebody got to press the start button, right?
Right. Absolutely.
And so. And then, you know, like a polisher still don't run itself, and in these machines and then they're, I don't want to say thoughts, but like the machines and their algorithms still have to be checked
for sure.
And so there's you know, I don't
it's
think
not 100% perfect, and it's not. Yeah, it's not.
It doesn't job eliminate. I think it
enhances.
Changes.
It's another tool in your belt.
It is. I mean, what was the thing when, like, who was faster, the chainsaw or the axe? Or
I've
like
seen
a whole
that
thing.
Yeah,
you know, like I don't know.
I don't remember the outcome. I think chainsaw probably won, maybe. But how much energy is it? You know, do you waste? You know, with the axe versus chainsaw?
But there's still got to be someone run the chainsaw. That's right. It just makes us better. And I think that
for now,
AI has an opportunity to make us better if done correctly. So, so there's that. Now, we also had a very cool series.
Yeah, I enjoyed doing this series, the Power Couple series.
Power Couple series.
That's right.
It was fun.
One of my favorites. We had Billy and Vandy Smith, of course, our brand ambassador, Billy Smith, Detail Billy.
Yeah,
for all you guys out there.
And would have to say they're probably the most powerful couple in the industry. I mean, they're rock stars.
Absolutely. I think you got a video, right?
I don't really think we had a lot of challenges, you know, other than, you know, just him and I making business decisions together.
Sure.
That's what you have to do.
It's easy to do when you're working with your best friend. I'm not just saying that on camera. I tell everyone, Miss Vandy is my best friend, period.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. All right, we're still go one, Ethan.
Thanks for the setup there, Ethan.
Yes, man. So it was awesome having Billy and Billy and Miss Vandy on, and then we actually had another Billy on and his wife. So we had there is Billy and of course the second Beth. God, thank you. I'm so sorry, Beth.
Got you. See, we're the real power couple
right there. Yeah, man. Oh, look at where we were at too. That was during the boat show.
And look at the backdrop as the LED wall.
And the USS Alabama. Dude, that is rad.
That was a cool show for us. I mean, we set up right there in the middle of the property, and And what? Oh, it's to match the LED wall.
It's as big as this show.
Yeah, I mean, it damn close.
Absolutely.
But it was a fun show because we had to set up out there in the lawn, and we had the challenges, or the production crew had the challenges of making that happen, and sat down there and talked to them, and that was
shout out to the production crew, because I mean, otherwise, like, we just look like studs the whole time.
Yeah, we're rock stars, but the real
work is done behind the cabinet, behind the camera.
Yeah, absolutely, it is
100%. And then we also had one of our power couples.
So fresh and
so
clean.
Yeah. So Chris and Sarah Wilkins, they're some of our favorite people, man. We love those guys. We've had them on a couple times. I think individually we had Chris on, and then we had, I think Sarah joined on one of our women's only episodes. And then of course, Ethan's going to show us a little video.
You want to tell him?
You can tell him.
Yeah. So when I first moved here to Florida, I was trying to find somebody. I didn't know anybody. So I was on like Plenty of Fish and, these dating apps and whatnot. And most of the people I met were crazy, absolutely insane. But I was like, there has to be someone normal on here. And so I waited it out, and then we met, and we hit it off right from there. Like, we went bowling on our first date and went out to dinner. And we were actually with another couple who met on Plenty of Fish that was on their 1-year anniversary. Oh, wow. And we were on the same lane with them bowling. And and we just hit it off, and like I think I moved in like 2 weeks later.
Okay, so you moved in with dude, let me tell you, and I think that's been several years ago when they met on Plenty of Fish. It's a dumpster fire.
What's going on with it?
Well, I mean, you just kind of see the same people that have been on there for 10 years, and you start to wonder, okay,
they haven't cooled the crazies.
I think they're just. It's mostly just crazies now.
Really?
Yeah.
So the dating scene has changed. Like, I mean,
it's weird.
It's tough.
Yeah, very tough. Very tough, man. And unless you're somebody that just is naturally outgoing and you're always out in public, the opportunity to meet people, is limited whenever you have a kid. You know what I'm saying? So you've got your thing at the house, and it is what it is, man.
You should have some house parties.
Yeah, ooh, dude, good house parties.
House parties.
Sure.
It's got to be a thing.
I think we can make it.
Yeah.
Let's
make it a thing.
Definitely make it a thing. All right.
House parties it is. 2023. Is that what you said?
Yeah, that's right. 2023.
All right. So lots of good series. We're being goofy. It's the end of the year. I think we're a little delirious and the last show of the year, but definitely had a great time in each one of our series. Had some great people on. Super appreciative. But the year must come to an end, and with all things an end, a new one begins.
That's right.
Resolutions. What is your resolution for 2023, Ryan?
I'm going to take my health more seriously, and I'm going to start, proactively making steps to, not only, get in better health, but I just want to be overall healthy, mentally as well. And, and it's all connected. And so, I'm really going to focus a lot of my energy on that. And I think it's going to be beneficial for myself and everyone around me, ultimately.
Oh, it will. And so mine kind of runs parallel to that. I mean, this year was a lot about health for me, and I want to continue down that health journey, but I want to kind of help others along the way. So my resolution, I do have some goals, but my resolution is just to continue down that path, but carry as many people down that path as I can with me, because what it's done for me personally and the doors that it opens and how much it's helped. I would be very selfish to keep that to myself and not tell everybody. It's been wonderful,
right?
And it's been freeing, and like when you learn, like when you see how making great decisions and self-discipline really help you, that's where life happens, and that's where the value is. And so I want to carry as many people along on that journey as I possibly can with me, and then let's see where we're at the end of the year.
And that group was a really good idea because, like you said, you make yourself accountable.
Yes.
Now you've got a lot of people watching you, and just as many that want you to succeed. There's a handful that are just waiting for you to fail.
Absolutely.
And so
just
to be able to show,
that's what you do. And it's, we're going to use that group as an accountability group for some other big things that we have coming. We're going to make an announcement next week about what that group's going to be all about.
Yeah,
and
right.
And super excited about where the future holds that, and then business too. Like, we talk about personal, but business, we have a lot of goals coming up. I mean, it's going to be a big year for Detail Bookie. We're excited. Like, you can already feel a transition in the way that we're doing things,
right.
and really a much more educated way, instead of like we're just learning by the seat of our pants. We're really dialing in our, like a lot of the stuff that we do on a daily basis, making sure that, the time and efforts that we're spent are right.
Well, because you are always, something I've always been impressed by with you is the moment there is, something that you don't know, which, let's be honest, that's a limited amount of things that you don't know.
Well,
but you're proficient in a lot of stuff, but you can't know everything.
Sure.
And so you're real quick to recognize, all right, you know what? I don't know this, but I guarantee I know there's already somebody else that's figured this out. So why are we trying to reinvent the wheel?
That's right.
Let's go to that, let's go to the people that do what we do, or, and now we've just got such a clear roadmap of where we got to be and what we got to do to get there. So the rejuvenation of just, it's phenomenal. I cannot wait for next year.
Me too. And I appreciate the acknowledgement in that, and because it's the truth, so it's you got to be able to, it's like you got to know what you know, but know even more what you don't know.
Right.
And then not be afraid. Like, pride can't be attached to any of this stuff. And it's not for me. Like, I love to learn. Like, I love when I don't know something and I have the opportunity to learn it. It's not a bad thing for me.
But it's like, to put it in detailing, speak, it's like, you get a polisher and you learn on your own vehicle. You know what I'm saying? You practice on some test panels or a hood or whatever you picked up from the junkyard.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it, do you have the confidence to sell that service now because you've been learning on your own stuff? You've never really done it, nor have you had any like legit training.
Sure.
You've watched some videos on YouTube or whatever. Going to a training class, getting yourself like actual professional training, and then validation of that skill, that gives you the confidence to be able to say, it's going to be $1,700, and you don't like, seize up when you say it because you can't believe you're going to charge somebody, what you're worth.
And people can read that lack of self-confidence. And, we all do start somewhere, but you got to be quick enough to realize what it is that you don't know part of that, and then not be afraid to hire somebody or pay for it.
That's right.
To learn, because those lessons stick. If you're paying for it, it definitely sticks.
100%.
And you're going to get every bit of its worth. With that, we're going to wrap this year up. We're going to go out with a bang like we always do,
just like we come in.
We're going to pop this bottle open and have a laugh. Put it to the side.
Where are y'all's cups at?
Yeah.
No. Get your other cups, Ethan.
Yeah, bring your cup. Hang on. We're going to pop this bitch open. Oh, Lord. We got anything over our head?
No, man. Nothing but air and opportunity.
No, you're supposed to. There with the air.
Oh.
All right.
You got this. You got this.
Come on. Oh. Yeah, boy.
Let's get it going, sir. 2023 is right around the corner, guys. We appreciate everything y'all have, done for us. Just being loyal fans. I know all you guys out there, we try to provide you some value. We try to provide a little entertainment. And ultimately, we just want you to do better.
Do what you do. Hit me them cups over there.
I want to be better.
And just know that the value comes from me, the entertainment comes from Ryan. As 100%. Long as we never get that mixed up, we'll be fine.
I think everybody's pretty aware of that.
I'm just playing. Chris is coming on camera right here. He's the guy behind Hacker Hack, shooting the videos, editing the videos. Ethan, step around here. He is kind of managing everything online. He's the one that messes up the videos every time and forgets to hit play. And Jessica, you don't see her on cam. She's the one that writes the scripts, helps come up with the ideas of the show. Everybody comes up with ideas, but she writes the scripts and does a lot of the planning and stuff. Appreciate you guys.
Take a screenshot.
Oh yeah, take a screenshot and send it to us for our 2 viewers that are watching. We expect two. We expect 2 screenshots. Thanks, guys. Cheers. Oh yeah. Nothing like warm champagne on a nice
champagne.